Yo, what's up, guys? Alex Baker for Awesemo here. I saw a $250 best ball draft about to pop off on Yahoo, so I had to jump on and give it a shot here. Uh, I reset all my settings to the default. So this is exactly what you'll see when you join a contest on Yahoo. And all right, so the thing to know about Yahoo, these are all like 10-person sit and goes, 17 rounds. Top three get paid, and the winner each week gets paid. But there are no playoffs or anything like that. So I'm just going for best overall plays for the first 17 weeks. All right. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start by ADP. That will give me a good sense of who everyone else is going to be drafting as it's going along. I'm pulling up the draft Wingman. Yahoo Best Ball is one of our settings here, so that will make it so I can get recommendations for my team in real time. So let's see, I got the eighth pick in a smaller draft like this. I would say it doesn't really matter what draft position you get because there you in a 12-person draft, sometimes you have to wait like 24 plays between picks, and that makes it um hard to get all the guys that you want uh because you have to reach unless their ADP is within a small range of your pick. All right. So I feel good about this. Pretty standard starts the draft. Yahoo is zero point 0.5 PPR, so that does tilt slightly to rushing uh, production over receiving. All right, but that's not to say that you should over adjust that if you're coming from a PPR site. I've done all the math in our best ball projections. So um, what I did is I just kind of ran all 17 weeks, figured out how many points on average is each player going to contribute to your team. All right, so it looks like my top player on the board right now is Devonta Adams. He's a stone cold killer. So I definitely like getting him. Uh, I think especially in cash, I'm not as worried about killing every position. So wide receiver does tend to make it a little bit hard to fill out running back and tight end later in the draft, but I am not going to be worrying about that overly much because I just have to beat 9 players. I don't have to beat 100,000 in this draft. So, wow, Najee Harris went already. Saquon. Looks like Diggs is my top player. I don't love the double wide receiver start, but as I mentioned, uh, because this is a sit and go, I am not. I'm not quite as worried about. All right, let's see. I got Devonta Adams. I accidentally clicked him drafted. Okay, so I get 4 wide receivers each week, 3 plus the flex. So I don't really have any reason to believe Devonta Adams and Stephon Diggs won't be a good combo. So I'm pretty happy that those guys fell. All right, Eckler, Taylor. So it will be tough to make up some of those points at running back later in the draft, but you can get starters all the way until like the 8th round. So um, not overly worried about it. Tight end's another tough spot to fill, or if you don't get Waller, Kelsey, or Kittle, like the alternatives are a lot worse. Um, but that's I'm gonna have to deal with that. So let's see if I can compress this a little bit. One thing I'm curious about is I do notice Cam Akers is kind of towards the top of the list as well as J.K. Dobbins. So I'm wondering like if sometimes these guys get auto drafted. That would be a big edge you can get over opponents, obviously, if they are accidentally drafting players that are out. All right, so I'm just catching up with the draft here. James Robinson. I have to scroll down. I don't know how often they update the ADPs for Yahoo, but he's already all the way down at 60, and I have him ranked at 19. So that will be an interesting decision point. Do I want to? Wow. Okay, he just went. So uh, it looks like this draft is a little bit sharper. And then Mahomes went with quarterback. With 10 people, I feel like I can really wait and grab 3 later in the draft. I don't have to really spend the early pick on a quarterback. But if someone drops, I'll certainly not be too worried about getting him. All right, so coming back on me, going 3 wide receiver to start is a little bit risky for me. So I would be leaning towards Kittle with my next pick if he's still available. Or I could try to go running back. The problem is I can get the 3rd best tight end, or I can get like the 15th best running back. So uh, I will go with Kittle. He's my top ranked player on the board. So that's a easy one. Also, tight end. The difference between Kittle and the guys late in the draft is going to be immense. All right, so hopefully Chris Carson drops down to me. He's ADP 33. I have the 33rd pick. That would fill a need for me. So that would be a big win. I definitely feel like it's a priority to grab a running back here. So let's hope he comes down. And then Gus Edwards, I don't he might be buried on this list, 96 ADP, but I have him ranked quite high. I think in that situation, I would just kind of hope that he falls to me at a later round. But if he doesn't, I guess there should be some decent options. All right, Terry McLaurin got picked. Henderson. I don't love Henderson. Okay, so Carson got drafted. David Montgomery is my next. It looks like I have him ranked lower than Gus Edwards, but um, I think if I get Montgomery, then maybe I can get Gus Edwards at the next pick. But we'll see how that shakes out. If I don't get him, you know, there's a relatively small difference between these guys. Just to talk about this draft wingman real quick. This value to team comes from our best ball rankings. So if if you haven't checked out our best ball rankings, they're specifically tailored for best ball on Yahoo. We have Yahoo season long rankings and Yahoo best ball rankings, different strategies there. So um yeah, make sure to check that out. Okay, Jacobs, Cup, Pitts. Not anything crazy there. I was on a different site and someone drafted Jacoby Myers in the 3rd round. Like sometimes you see wild stuff in best ball. Uh, but this being a $250 tournament, it is looking like the competition is playing pretty well. The one thing you should know about Yahoo is that these contests are going to be a lot softer than other sites because they only allow you to draft one best ball team at a time, and these take like 30 minutes. So it really limits the amount a good player can impact the best ball tournaments. So if you're joining a $20 one and there are like several good players in the $20 queues, the chances are lower on dang, someone got Gus. They're lower on Yahoo that you're gonna play against that player. So that is a big advantage. Also, the risk reward ratio on Yahoo is a lot different because it's only a 10-person contest instead of a few hundred or a few thousand or 100,000. So, I mean, those are all going to really affect your risk and your reward. All right, looks like Swift could be my next pick here. He's the highest ranked on the board. All right, so I'm getting him. I'm kind of curious who's the auto draft here, because be curious if it like drafts a player that's out. I don't really want to find out, but if that is the case, so like it is on other sites, you can just have less people you're competing against. Basically, if someone misses their pick, which I don't know about you guys, but I found I miss my pick more than I would like, especially when I'm doing more things at once. So, all right, so grab Swift. I have a really solid start. Um, Quarterback, I don't feel much urgency because with 32 people and or sorry, 10 people and 32 quarterbacks to go around, like everyone can grab three. And I've noticed people don't even really draft enough quarterbacks in the first place. So, all right, my next draft pick, I'll go with this recommendation from Draft Wingman, Julio Jones. Getting him at 53 seems like a easy win. All right, so this is kind of cool. It shows, okay, got some bye weeks here. It looks like Devonta Adams and Julio have the same bye week. A little bit suboptimal, but I'm planning to draft at least 6 or 7 wide receivers. Um, Hold on, let me get a call here. Um, okay, sorry about that. Okay, Claypool got snagged. TJ Hawkinson, Thielen. A nice thing about these Yahoo drafts is they go really fast with a 30-second timer and only 10 people. Compared to some other sites that, okay, if you have 20 rounds and 12 people, that's 240 picks. So that takes at least 50% longer. If you're like me and you have limited time to draft teams, you want to think about what kind of hourly return you can get playing best ball because unlike DFS, uh, like where you can enter as many contests as you want without a ton of extra effort, best ball, I feel like you're going to be playing a lot softer fields because like of the time investment required. Just you're going to be playing a weaker field because of how it takes longer to draft. All right. So my pick is coming up here. It's Godwin was taken. Let's see, is Lockett still available? I doubt it. So he's taken. DJ Moore taken, I'm sure. Let's see, Harris. Damon Harris taken. Hurts. Certainly someone I like a lot. I feel like he could be the next rushing QB that wins you the league. So I feel pretty comfortable taking this recommendation here. I do feel like maybe he would drop, but since my time is running low, feels a need and a player that I'm really liking this year. Okay, Hunt got taken. Okay. See how this shakes out. I don't really have one position that I'm going after at this point. I'm probably going to go to tight end, three quarterback. All right, so I got 17. So 4 to 5 running backs, I think. All right, let's see my guys on the board. Chase Edmonds. I have a very solid running back group here so far, where like all our starters, there aren't any real speculative plays. So that does make me think I can get away with 4 running backs. So if we do the math, all right, 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs is 7, 2 tight ends is 9. I could get 8 wide receivers, but that might be a little bit unnecessary. I think I can get by on 7. So I would probably draft an extra um, running back then. Maybe I'll go with like um, a late round boom bust type play, like a Alexander Madison or something like that. One thing I'll note is stacking really isn't as big a priority in this kind of draft because I'm not trying to beat people with the same players as me. So like if I have Devonta Adams and someone else has Aaron Rodgers, like that doesn't necessarily hurt my chances of winning. Where in a tournament that has a lot of different teams combining together into one league and everyone has Devontae Adams, then I would be at a severe disadvantage if I don't have Aaron Rodgers, given that correlation. So uh, drafting stacks is not something I'm prioritizing on Yahoo. Keep up with the draft here. It looks like Chenault ADP 120. So that is a spot where I probably want to wait to draft him and pick one of the other guys on my list here. Kenny Galladay, Javonte Williams got taken. So if I go with Galladay, uh, I mean, most likely Chenault will still be on the board. Okay, never mind. Okay, so let's see. Parker doesn't look like anyone is. I guess I'm just gonna go with Chenault, even though it's 88, just because. Let's see who else is on the top of the draft here. No one I'm really targeting. So if no one's drafting the guys I want, I might as well just pick my favorites. It doesn't really matter the sequence that I'm getting them. All right, so I have, let's see, 4 wide receivers. I'm going for 7. So if I pick up Fuller or Parker on the next pick, that seems like I'm in good shape here. And I'll also keep an eye out for another running back. Definitely don't mind. All right, so I think I can just go with my top player here, Will Fuller. A amazing talent. I remember last year he was like a 6th round pick, and he had really good points per game. I think he missed a few games. But man, like I feel like he's dropping really far this year. and I haven't heard about any injuries this year. So that's a guy that I'm pretty excited, even though it looks like I had him ahead of ADP. Let's see. Jamal Williams got drafted. He's a guy that in a 10-person league, I like him a lot more than in a 100,000-person league, just because it's really hard to see him being a workhorse, and that's really what you're gunning for. Like, you're not hoping that Jamal Williams rushes for 60 and a touchdown in week 16. Um, I feel like I guess Swift could get injured or something, but let's see who's it looks like Parker or Shark, both guys that I like. I don't actually see Parker on this list, but he's available. Or Mark Andrews, I'm assuming is taken. Guy that he's being taken a lot higher than I think he should be. All right, Philip Lindsay. Let's see what his ADP is. 127. Parker is 129. Um, so I guess I'll go with. It seems like no one's drafting Parker, so I'll go with Lindsay, and then hopefully Parker will come back. I do like Lindsay a little bit better than Drake for this particular lineup because it is a 10-person contest. I feel like um, if like 1 out of 7 seasons Drake is the starter because Jacobs is out or something, then that certainly helps my chances of winning this league. But I want to win it a lot more than that. Not saying that would be necessarily a requirement, but I feel like Lindsay will steadily produce all year long. Maybe have some good games. All right, let's see if my guy is still here. He is. Maybe I'm assuming he's drafted. So plan worked. I got the guys I wanted. Um, Kinda liking my draft. I don't think this particular draft has been a a weak one like for other people. So let's see what the draft board looks like. Here positions. Since this is the way I'm planning to get an edge, we'll see how everyone did here. Looks like everyone's kind of drafting a lot of wide receivers, which is a good strategy in best ball. But yeah, I'm not really seeing anything of note here. Um, but we'll look at the final composition of everyone's teams, and I want to see that the people in my draft are drafting in a way I think is suboptimal because I'm trying to win these drafts, and the more mistakes that my opponents are making, the better chance that I'm gonna win. All right, is one still available? Um, I do want 2 more quarterbacks in my last 5 picks. Indianapolis is a team that is pretty effective, so I don't know exactly what to expect from Wentz this year, but I am optimistic. I would say that he'll be able to do a lot better than he did in Philadelphia. All right, so um, I guess the only question would be what other quarterbacks are available. Teddy Bridgewater doesn't really rush a whole lot, but a good player. Um, Carson Wentz is all the way down at the bottom of these lists. From what I understand, he's probable, or maybe he's questionable for week 1, but I'm not really gonna worry about 1 week. Of course, with the injury, sometimes things take a turn for the worst instead of the better. Um, so there's maybe a reason to wait, but my main thing here, let's see, I got 4 running backs, 6 wide receivers, so I want one more wide receiver, one more running back, one more tight end. Um, looks like at this point in the draft, everyone has about the same ADP. So maybe I should just pick my favorite players. Um, how DJ Chark got taken. Age, I'm kind of intrigued by. Kobe Myers, certainly solid. Trey Lance still available. I like Lance more in a league that has playoffs, but let's see. It looks like I gotta fix that projection there. All right. Oh shit. Um, I'll just draft Wentz because I didn't have anything else queued up. But some other guys I'm looking at are like let's see, tight end. I want one more tight end. I probably go with. I feel like Cooper is a really safe option where I need at least like someone that if I'm going 2 tight ends, I just need someone that is gonna put up points every week. Um, for weeks that Kittle misses or just has a bad week. So Cooper seems like a easy choice. All right, let's see. Okay. So I'm looking for one more quarterback. Let's see. I got 6 wide receivers. So I want wide receiver, quarterback, running back in my last 3 picks. Oops. Michael Thomas, 136. That's pretty interesting. Might got taken. I don't really know if it's worth going for these guys that aren't going to put up points every week. But let me see what my ranking of Michael Thomas is for this. 98. So, I mean that's pretty solid. The weeks he does play, he's going to be a big time contributor, most likely. There's a chance he doesn't play this year. I'm kind of keeping that in the back of my mind. All right. I feel pretty good about this draft. I don't really see any position that I'm weak at. Um, I do feel like tight end, since I only have 2, I like that is a little bit weaker than average, even though I have Kittle. But tight end is the lowest scoring position, so I don't expect that to really make or break my season. All right, so is Gage still available? Um, that seems like an easy one. And then got my wide receiver. Let's see, is Pollard's drafted? I'm just gonna mark all the wide receivers taken because I'm not really trying to pick one up. J.D. McKissick. I think he's fine. I don't really feel like anyone's gonna draft him, so maybe I'll look for quarterback first. Um, Hill, um, Daniel Jones. Let's see. Um, I don't mind Daniel Jones. I mean, he rushes a lot, and the Giants aren't a very good team, and that's a knock against them. But I do feel like his average fantasy points per game should be fine. It looks like even Yahoo's projection for him is higher than all the other quarterbacks remaining. So um, that's not necessarily a hot take on my part. It looks like. And then I want a running back. Someone like McKissick would be nice because I can really count on him to put up points. I, th- I mean, he's going to have a nice third down role. Plus, if something happened to Antonio Gibson, I don't think McKissick would get all the looks, but I think he would get more work. So that's a pretty solid last pick. Let's see if he's still on the board for me. In a large field, I probably would try not to go for McKissick because I don't know how much his upside is, but um, I think that on a 10-person tournament, he's more valuable than a large field. Oh, okay. So let's see. McKissick, I have him adding 21 points over the year. I guess I should look if James White is still available because I have him higher. He's not available, so Ramana Stevenson, someone I'm kind of interested in this year. It's a wild card because he's kind of like the preseason player of the year, but there's no need to get someone that speculative in this format. All right. Don't recognize many of these players, even though this is a $250 tournament. So, um, if you're in this draft, leave a comment. I'm curious how you felt it went for you. And guys, if you can hit the like button, greatly appreciate all the support. If you don't already have our draft kit, that's how you get all our best ball content with the rankings, draft wingman. You can get $5 off with the promo code WR. And if you're not already on Yahoo, I mean, it's a pretty great place to play. Okay, this guy just drafted Irv Smith. Isn't he out for the year? Like, jeez. All right. I don't know how much this last pick matters, but 20 points. I have McKissick adding 20 points. Each marginal point is worth a lot in best ball. I think in the large field tournaments, I calculated each point of projection is worth like 25 cents in the regular season and $1 in the playoffs. So if I guessed, that was in a $25 tournament. So um, if you're talking 20 points versus zero, that is a very significant change. All right, so uh, most people got three quarterbacks, which I think is the best strategy here. Wide receiver, everyone was in a reasonable range, but show me the money. I feel like he went too hard on wide receiver, and it's going to hurt him because, yeah, I mean, there's a chance that you get some outlier scores from these guys, but more likely it's like you're going to have a guy get 10 and another guy get 11, and whoever is 11 is going to be your wide receiver four instead. So that's kind of how I've been thinking about it. All right, running back, everyone went for four. Um, Oh, because this wide receiver flex includes running back, so I had five. So it's a little bit harder to gauge. Most people want two tight ends, few three. I think that's right. So overall, I think this competition pretty solid, but I adhered to the fundamentals. Uh, Based on what I saw, I don't think I have a very large edge in this particular tournament. But it's a $250 tournament, and if you go to like a $20 tournament on Yahoo, it's just like way softer. From a dollar per hour perspective, though, obviously, if you kind of have a budget, you're trying to invest in best ball, that could be a factor. It definitely is for me. So I'm more drawn to these high dollar ones, even though it's a tougher competition. Guys, I hope you learned a little bit from this video, and good luck. And oh, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That'll let you know when there's new content. And thanks for tuning in.